opportunity for physiotherapists, BPT and DPT graduates. So we're going to talk about physiotherapy careers in Australia, New Zealand and the United Kingdom. So there are two pathways which we'll be talking about. First is the Australian Physiotherapy Council exam pathway, and the second is the alternative pathway. So suppose you do not want to write the examination, you can go ahead with the alternative pathway as well. You must have heard about all of these things from here and there, from the internet and this and that. But today in this webinar, we'll be explaining everything in detail. Okay, I'll be going a bit slow in the concerned pages, but very quickly just giving you a glimpse of our company. So as you all know, you know about Academically, you have been hearing about Academically, and our company, our organization and Academically is the only one online platform which exclusively caters to the healthcare professionals. See, even I am a healthcare professional and you all of guys are healthcare professionals. And like the IT guys, we do not have placement opportunities, correct? So this is something where when we lag, even if we have a lot of, qualification, even if we have a lot of experience, we do not have a proper guidance. And I suppose every graduate who graduates from a healthcare background always finds some sort of guidance. We want somebody to guide us, we want a team to guide us, and we want to explore the best opportunity which we could have in the qualification which we pertain. So Academically here welcomes you all, and that was one of the reasons which always eye catches me also, even being an employee here in Academically, is catering to the healthcare professionals, which is a great work, indeed a great work being done in our country. And not only our country, we are a global platform and we help all the healthcare workers out globally. Academically was basically the vision of our founder and CEO, Dr. Akram. Dr. Akram is a clinical pharmacist and lecturer. Sir has got immense experience in this field, and it was actually his vision. He as a healthcare professional, you would have heard about Sir's story. Sir is a famous, personality out here globally also. So he himself had struggled a lot to, get a proper opportunity to migrate from India to Australia and flourish there and establish his name out there in Sydney. So out of all these things, Academically is basically the baby of our founder and CEO. And he is always, you won't believe guys, it's a day-to-day practice which we see in our office and which he does. He's always, involved in the flourishment of the healthcare professionals. And this is where Academically came from. So talking about our institution, our organization. So we are basically headquartered in Australia, and we are an EdTech. And EdTech which helps the healthcare professional excel in their lives and career. And as I told you, it was established by our CEO. And Sir is an educationist and a healthcare professional. And whatever immense experience he has in this field, he has put up everything in this particular organization for the upliftment of me, for the upliftment of you, and all the healthcare professionals out. So Academically offers support to all of healthcare professionals. If you talk about doctors, if you talk about physiotherapists like you, if you talk about dentists, if you talk about pharmacists, pharmacy technician, nurses. So we cater to all the aspects of healthcare professionals, and we help them to migrate to the other countries and flourish globally as a very, very good healthcare professional. Dr. Akram Ahmed, talking about him, Sir has got an immense teaching and research experience across 10 to 15 years, various subjects of medicine in India, Malaysia, and Australia. Sir's goal is to help qualified healthcare professionals across the globe, as I mentioned, to achieve their passions and dreams by educating and training them. Okay, so talking about our academic heads, guys, Dr. Rini Sharma is the academic head who basically caters to the medical courses here at Academically. She is a dedicated scholar, an MBBS MD degree holder. She's done an MBA from Charleston Southern University, a distinguished researcher, and ma'am has contributed to all the content which we prepare for all our medical courses over here. Along with her, we have also Dr. Alok Semwal, who is the academic head of pharmacy. All right, so we have immense faculties also for all of you guys. All the faculties are physiotherapy qualified faculties who have always been there to guide you and support you. We'll talk about them also. All right, so let's first understand the Australian Physiotherapy Council exam. Okay, APC exam, it is basically the standard pathway. If you want to migrate to Australia, The simplest thing which you could do is prepare for the APC exam, sit for the APC exam, finish up the APC exam, clear the APC exam, and then you get the license to practice there in Australia as a registered physiotherapist. So now we'll talk about what this exam is, what is the format of this exam, how do you prepare, and how academically helps you to prepare and migrate to Australia by clearing the Australian Physiotherapy Council exam. Okay. So first of all, as I mentioned, all our distinguished faculties, we have Dr. Kushangi, Dr. Prachi, Dr. Mansi, Dr. Dilpreet. All of them have migrated from India to Australia. They have undergone similar struggles as you guys are contemplating and thinking of. And they are all esteemed physiotherapists practicing and having experience of around 8 to 10 years. They are there in Australia practicing as a registered physiotherapist. And some of them have their own setup also, and they are your esteemed faculties. So our entire content has been guided up by them. They teach you in the similar Australian pattern and Australian guidelines way to prepare you for the APC exam. Now, guys, a very simple question which comes is, why choose Australia? Why has Australia been in the picture so much? And why are people migrating, or rather healthcare professionals and physiotherapists migrating so much to Australia? Yes, you have 1,85,000 visa offers there. If you open up seek.au, the job portal, you can see more than 6,000 plus job vacancies as physiotherapist. And trust me, it's worth it. And the salary is great. As you can see, it's around about up to 1 lakh AUD is the pay scale which you get in Australia. And whatever we are mentioning, it's all based upon the facts. So Australia is indeed a great country to migrate if you want to practice as a physiotherapist. As you see, we have attached screenshots from the internet. These are all factual. So how much does a physiotherapist make in Australia? It's around about $95,000 annually. This is the survey which was based on 10,000 salaries. And you can see the job opportunities on the platform which I was mentioning you. If you went to a physiotherapist, you see around about 5,864 jobs right now there in Australia as a physiotherapist. Talk about hospital or you talk about community centers. Now let's talk about the benefits of physiotherapists in Australia. Guys, as I mentioned, the annual salary goes up to AUD 1 lakh. So migrating to Australia as a physiotherapist has an immensely high earning potential, right? We all healthcare workers always feel that we need to get a good opportunity as well as the monetary benefits attached to it. So Australia serves as a great higher earning potential company. Okay. Talking about the quality of life, you all know it's a great country to live in. It's got a high standard of living, excellent healthcare, diverse culture, and it makes an attractive destination for all the people. Talking about the career opportunities, there's a high demand for physiotherapists in Australia. I just mentioned the amount of jobs which you have, and the most important and the greatest advantage which you get in Australia, the greatest perk is the instant PR, which you won't get in any other country. Work visas are very easily to achieve. An instant PR is something which you get in Australia. So you can settle down there and, practice as a physiotherapist along with your family. Work-life balance, this is something which we all have been talking about of lately. So it has got a great work-life balance, guys, and the physiotherapists manage their workload by maintaining a healthy lifestyle also, right? Talking about the professional development, physiotherapists in Australia have access to ongoing professional development opportunities in advanced technologies. So you not only practice, you not only get the experience, but you also have advanced skills because the kind of apparatus they use, the kind of technology they use, you get to experience that also. So your skills keep on upgrading as well as a physiotherapist if you practice in those countries. So you come across development opportunities, you come across advanced technologies, which can help them advance their skills and knowledge. And talking about free education and healthcare access, so Australia offers several perks to the residents, such as free education for children and free healthcare access. Whenever we want to migrate somewhere, we also have that in our mind, right? Back of the mind, it's always going on that how can I take my family there? So you have a great perk for you as well as your family by getting free education for children and the free healthcare access. So these were the benefits for physiotherapists if you want to migrate in Australia. Now let's come to the main focus of ours, that is the APC written assessment. As I mentioned, everybody, APC is the full form of Australian Physiotherapy Council. So like here, if I mention, for example, in India, You have the MCI, which is the Medical Council of India, which caters to all the medical professionals here. You have the DCI. Similarly, in Australia, you have the Australian Physiotherapy Council, right, which controls all the services of the physiotherapist there in Australia. And the APC is basically an equivalency exam. Suppose you are a registered physiotherapist in your country and you want to migrate to Australia. How will the Australian Physiotherapy Council assess? How will the Australian Physiotherapy Council know that you are a capable person, that you can come to their country and you have the capability to practice as a physiotherapist? It is through this exam, the APC exam. So the APC written assessment is the assessment conducted by the Australian Physiotherapy Council to check the competence of the overseas physiotherapists who want to migrate to Australia and want to practice there. So they'll first check, you pass the examination, then they grant you the registration, and then you can practice. And as I mentioned, the sole purpose of the exam is to ensure that internationally qualified physiotherapists like us have the necessary knowledge to practice safely and effectively within the Australian healthcare system. Okay. Now, talking about the APC exam, guys, the best part about APC exam is you do not have to go and write the exam there. The written assessment can be done in your country, in your own houses. So this is a very, very good opportunity. You do not have to go to any Prometric center, or you do not have to go to any online center. You can sit at your home very well, comfortably, and give the exam. All right. There are some compatibility tests which are done. Suppose if you book the exam, then they call out, the APC Council will call out for some sort of compatibility test, wherein they check that your environment is good or not, your laptop which you are using or your desktop which you are using is good or not. So it's a at-home proctored system. So remote. Okay, so the APC written assessment is a remote assessment, which means you can take it anywhere, including your home country, including your own house, your own room, where you study properly, which is your most comfortable environment. And as we say, when you sit in your comfortable environment and then give your exam, the results are definitely very great. So this is the greatest advantage which you get. Not very many examinations are such that you can take from home. So this is an examination which is remotely remote. Secondly, you get 4 times the opportunity to sit for the APC exam. It's not once, it's not twice, it's not thrice, 4 times, guys. As you can see, the APC assessment is conducted 4 times in a year in the months of March, June, September, and December. And number of attempts are not limited. You can give as many attempts as you want, right? So suppose if you don't succeed in the March exam, prepare for June. If not June, prepare for September. So your year does not get wasted, right? Which is one of the things, like if you talk about healthcare, the healthcare system in different countries, we have a very long course curriculum, right? 5 years, 4 years, internship, this, that. So here for the APC exam, you do not have to waste your entire year if you do not succeed in the first attempt. You have several opportunities, actually 4 in 1 year. So again, it makes it a very great opportunity. How is the exam conducted? As I mentioned, let's summarize it up. APC exam is a remotely supervised examination conducted 4 times a year. That means that the candidate from India can complete the written assessment from India itself, and you get 4 times the opportunity. So I hope this much is clear. We'll move ahead. Talking about the eligibility criteria, how will we know that whether I am eligible to sit for the APC exam or not? You need to only have a 4-year bachelor's degree in physiotherapy. Suppose if you are from India, then 4 years. If you're from the other countries, whatever your curriculum is, that. And you must be a registered physiotherapist in your home country, right? That's the most simple. I think all the physiotherapists out here would be having at least this much. Can you give me a thumbs up quickly, guys? I hope this much is the eligibility criteria which all of us follow. Yes, correct. Good going, good going. Yeah, this is the elementary thing. Thanks for the answers, guys. This is the elementary things. 4 years bachelor's degree in physiotherapy, and the candidate must hold the educational or qualification requirements for registration without any restriction in your country of training. Okay. Now, let's talk about the steps. How are you going to ace this APC exam? Guys, when we talk about any overseas exam, like APC or ADC or AMC, there are 3 basic steps which they follow. First of all, they will check whether you are eligible to sit for the exam or not, whether your documents are correct or not, whether you have the eligibility or not. And that is called as initial skill assessment, right? That is called as eligibility assessment. So skill assessment, eligibility assessment, all these are the similar things. For different exams, for different healthcare professions, it's different. For APC, you have the eligibility assessment number 1, wherein the first things first, they'll check your documents. So you have to upload your pertaining documents, whatever is required, okay? And they'll cross-check it, whether it's okay or not. Once you get a green flag, you'll get an interim certificate, after which there's a cultural safety training, which you have to undergo. So cultural safety training is nothing. There are certain videos. So basically, the Australia country wants you to know their culture. Okay, so they want to ensure that if somebody is wanting to migrate to my country, they should be well aware of my culture, which we follow over here. So that is cultural safety training. There are certain videos which you have to watch, very simple. Okay, small MCQs, very simple miniature MCQs, which you have to go, and so that you have the knowledge of the culture. So that is the first step, which is the eligibility assessment. After which you have the physiotherapy written examination. After that, you have the physiotherapy clinical examination. So written exam, practical exam, the second 2 steps. In the meantime, the English proficiency test also holds good, because for the visa purpose, you require the English proficiency test. So basically, APTA is the board which grants registration there in Australia for all the healthcare professionals, and they've got certain English proficiency standards, which I'll tell you. So you need to fulfill that. Okay, so simple steps is you need to finish up with the eligibility assessment. Your English proficiency should be good. Your written examination has to be passed, and your clinical examination. One more thing, guys. Suppose if you pass the written examination also, and you're waiting for the practical examination, you can take limited registration over there for that particular country, right? Suppose you have finished up with your written examination and you're waiting for your practical examination. What you can do is take a limited registration with the council, and you can migrate to Australia and practice as a practicing physiotherapist there under the supervision of a registered physiotherapist. And if you finish up with the practical exam, then you become you become a registered physiotherapist to practice independently. So not only with the practical exam, even if you finish up with the written assessment, you get an opportunity for the limited registration. Okay. Now, so the first step which I talked about to you was the initial skill assessment, right? So there are certain documents which you require for the initial skill assessment. Very simple, your physiotherapy degree, your mark sheet, consolidated mark sheet of all the years is your transcript. If you have any work experience, you can give. Otherwise, if you don't have, Australia does not require any work experience. Freshers can also apply for the APC exam. Okay, so please remove this misconception if you have. All the freshers out here, if you're there, you can apply for the APC exam. No experience is required. You need to have your valid passport, which is automatically there. Your government ID proof, any of them. Your passport size photograph, and your physiotherapy registration certificate from whichever country you are, you need to have this. So these are the documents which you need to collect and you need to give that. Please check whether I'm eligible to sit for the APC written assessment or not. Now, as I was talking about the English proficiency, guys, you can opt for any of these 3. Okay, it's not that you need to finish up only with IELTS, you need to finish up only with PT, or you need to finish up only with OET. Any of these 3 you can opt for. If you're going for IELTS, you need to have an individual band score of 7. If you're opting for PT score of 65 or higher is required. And for OET, a minimum score of 350 out of 500 or grade B is required. Okay. And for this preparation also, not only for APC, Academically also prepares you for the English proficiency test. Okay. If you talk about IELTS or PT or OET, if you want to prepare that with us, we give a full-on package for you if you want to, enroll with our company. So not only the written assessment, but also the English proficiency where we ace you for the exam. Now, features of the APC exam, guys. The APC exam consists of 30 case-based scenarios, that is 60 MCQs. I'll explain. Wait. So suppose today you have your APC exam. Okay. APC exam is conducted in 2 shifts, guys. Okay. First shift will be of 2 hours. Then there'll be a break of 1 hour. And then the second shift will be of 2 hours. Okay. And in each shift, suppose if I talk about the first shift of 2 hours, you will be having a total of 30 questions. Okay, 30 questions will be there. So it's like that. 30 questions as in case-based scenarios. All right. So first shift may, suppose if I talk about the 2 hours paper, one case-based scenario will have 4 questions pertaining to it. Okay. And total you'll be having 15 case-based scenarios. So 15 into 4, 60 MCQs for the first time. and 60 MCQs for the second set. All right. So 15 case-based scenarios for the first set and 15 case-based scenarios for the second set. So total 30 case-based scenarios. In one case, you will be having 4 sub-questions. Suppose a very simple question that there's a patient who is suffering from Parkinson's disease, okay, and he is getting bouts of fever, or he is having these kind of improper, he is not able to move properly, his movement is not this. So this is the case, okay. Now the first question to this case is, what is the minimal PT management which you would suggest, okay? Second question, third question, fourth question. So there will be one case-based scenario given to you, and it will have 4 sub-questions. So like that, in the first paper, or in the one sitting, you'll be having 2 hours of timeline, wherein you'll be having 15 case-based scenarios. So 15 into 4, 60, 15 into 4, 60. Okay. If you have any problem, I'll take this question in the end. Okay. Don't worry. So the total time duration will be 4 hours, 2 hours, gap, 2 hours. Okay. Minimum scoring requirement is 50%. So the total score is 1000. Okay. Out of which you have to score 500. If you score 500 or more than 500, you are considered as an APC cleared candidate. Okay. There are certain students who score 501, APC cleared, 500 also APC cleared. And the best part, there is no negative marking. And the duration of preparation, so if you prepare this with Academically, we have a course wherein we prepare you totally for the APC exam in a most trained way with our most trained faculties and content within 16 weeks. Okay, so you can prepare and you can qualify the APC exam. Expression of interest, as I was talking about the visa, guys, you're eligible for permanent visa, 189, 190. Sponsored visa, if you have a 2-year experience, 482. If you have 2-year experience, again, 494 or so also. And the regional sponsored PR visa is 491 visa. Program highlights of Academically. So I have told you how is the APC pattern going to be, how do you prepare for the APC. Now please listen to what Academically helps you to do. So guys, we have an instructor led, as I told, all of them are APC qualified, practicing in Australia, self-paced content. Okay, you all are working professionals, we know you may not be able to attend live classes. So we have the similar recorded lectures for you. Okay, whatever classes are conducted in the live pattern, the similar class is there for your recording also. So you can watch the recorded lectures also. One-on-one mentoring support. We have a 24/7 mentoring guide for you all. There's always one person who is sitting to guide you whenever you require, once on a click on your phone. Okay. Extended access to content. Suppose if you're not able to finish up with the APC exam within the 16 weeks of preparation, there is some mishap happening or something like that, you can also extend your course. Okay. So it's not we give you a proper access. Whenever you want, you can extend it. Flexible schedule, as I mentioned, you can manage your schedule as you want with your live classes and recorded lectures. Periodic webinars like these from the industry mentors is what you will get. We also have an artificial intelligence based test reports, which we give to you, which is the feedback and assessment of ours. So suppose if you attempt a test, you get an AI based report out of which. So you know what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. And after finishing up the exam, we also give you tips on CV writing and cover letter generation, and the placement and visa assistance is also what we provide you. Now, talking about the fee structure, guys, for the PT or English proficiency test, you get it's around about AUD 285. If you talk about interim certificate, like the eligibility assessment and cultural safety, which is the first things first, AUD 1364 is the government fees of Australian Physiotherapy Council. For written assessment is 1958 AUD, and for clinical assessment it is 4263 AUD. So this is the fee structure of the Australian Physiotherapy Council. Now, introducing our recent toppers to all of you of December 2024. There are many more, actually. We couldn't accommodate all of them over here. So you can see, all these 4 people had finished up their exam in one go. Yes, they had prepared only for 16 weeks with Academically, and they cleared their APC exam. So as you can see, this was the recent toppers. We're also acing up for the March exam, which is there on 6th March. Our people are preparing very well for this, and hopefully we'll be sharing more good news with you in the upcoming webinars as well. So this was all about the Australian Physiotherapy Council standard pathway. You sit for the exam, you qualify, and you go. Let's talk a bit about UK. You all would have heard about HCPC, guys, Healthcare Professions Council. So if you want to practice as a registered physiotherapist in UK, you need to get registered with the HCPC, right? Because after Britain's exit from the European Union, there was a lot of shortage for physiotherapists there in London, in UK. All right, also in Scotland. So so the country has been hiring a lot of physiotherapists over there. All right, and as you can see, a lot of perks are there in UK also. If you talk about the opportunities there, if you don't want to give the examination, then this is something which is a very simple effort. So 24,000 plus visas, 3,000 plus current openings, and you get a annual salary of 40,588 pound. And as I told you, benefits are very good. You have a competitive salary, no qualifying exams like the APC we were talking about. You just have to submit your necessary documents and get registered. And yes, physiotherapy is a growing field with increasing demand in UK also. Okay, you have flexible part-time options, you have self-employment, you have a better work-life balance. And very simple, if you talk about HCPC registration now, you need to have a certain amount of experience. You need to finish up with your BPT degree or MPT, any of it could do. Okay, and your English proficiency according to the UK pattern is required. That's the only eligibility criteria. So it's very similar to APC. And nothing you have to do. You have to understand. You have to finish up with the English proficiency first. Okay, then you have to collect all the documents of yours which was required. Fill up the course information form and give your form for scrutiny. Pay the scrutiny fee, give a form for scrutiny. Then check whether my documents are clear or not. Once you get the documents checked clear, you get the email that you can get registered with HCPC, pay the registration fees, and you get registered. So it's a very simple process. You do not have to, actually sit for any examination. Now, suppose if you want to go to Australia, there is one simple way which I have told you through the exam. The second bypass method is through HCPC. So what you can do is submit your documents from your home country, get registered with HCPC. Okay. Now the HCPC registered candidates can very well and easily get registered to New Zealand through the express pathway. Okay. UK to New Zealand through the express pathway. All right. Very easy registration. So you have the registration of UK, you have the registration of New Zealand, work for 2 years. There's a stop over here. You need to work for 2 years in New Zealand and transfer your registration to Australia. So you do not have to sit for the examination. Okay. So one simple pathway is the APC pathway. One is this bypass pathway. Get registered in UK, transfer your registration to New Zealand, work for 2 years in New Zealand, and transfer registration to Australia. So there are two methods which we have given. Okay, and the similar guidance program is given by Academically also. So we guide you for APC exam. We also guide you for this bypass pathway, wherein you just give us the documents. We'll submit your documents. We'll get the registration for you, whether it's UK. Then, as I talked about New Zealand also, you can see a lot of job openings in Australia and New Zealand, also UK. So you have very good opportunity as physiotherapist. Okay. If you're an HCPC registered candidate, through the International Express pathway, you can get very easily registered in New Zealand. Okay, document submission, review, registration. And after 2 years of work experience in New Zealand, through the express flyer pathway, you can get registered in Australia also. Right? So this was just a gist. I'll take up your questions. Talking about financial assistance, everybody. So we know it's very costly, and preparatory course of ours would also charge some money for you. So we give you financial assistance, interest-free loan and EMI with EduOnes. We provide interest-free loans with 12 months easy EMI options to all our students so that you can fully focus on your studies and preparation. Also, we have partnered with Kuhu Edu Fintech, which is an online platform which provides very fast and easy student loans. Okay. So it's not that you need to have a lot of money and then you can come and get assisted with Academically. No. Even if you are struggling with that, we are there to help you out financially as well. Achha, we also have a scholarship for you all. You know what? Like whatever is the course fee of ours, if you attend the test, it's very simple. You open up our website, you attend the test through our website, and you get instant scholarships over there. So that is called as ASAP, Academically Scholarship for Abroad Program. Visit our website, register for the test, clear the test, back the scholarship, and you get instant discount in the course fee also. Why trust Academically? You all have been hearing about Academically since so many things, and that is why I hope you all are there in the webinar today. We have a great reputation and legacy, guys. Great faculty, highly experienced faculty profile, as I've shared with you, high quality research course content, a community of hundreds of ex-students who are successfully placed in their careers. So we have a great alumni network also who can help them because they have undergone the similar struggle as you all would be going through. Personalized approach, you get a one-on-one mentoring. And if you want, you can visit our office. Our CEO is there in our country only. itself in our Dehradun office. So if you want, you can attend our India office, come to our India office. We are happy to serve you. Or you can also visit our headquarters there in Australia, Sydney. Okay. Now, the media coverage, so we're featured in the different media planners also, Farm Tutor, News Nation, Economic Times, News 18, in the Sun Times, Startupedia. So these are all, well-established media platforms. So we are featured in all of them. We're also featured in various magazines called Outlook, Economic Times, and Types of India, and also Startup Rise and in Z News as well. You can find us on Google. So our students and our people who have been associated with us keep putting on reviews and ratings for us. You can go ahead for our Google reviews also and see how our company works and how you would get benefited from our company. Talking about our social media handles, I know you all must have gone through the social media handles of our CEO, Dr. Akram, through Academically.MedCare, through Academically, also our YouTube channel. And this is the way you can contact us. You've already contacted us, and we would be happy to help you through the forms which you all have filled. So this was a very short presentation from my side. Thank you for lending your ears to me. And now we'll be taking a quick MCQ session for all of you. Let's begin. Let me stop my screen share and we shall start the MCQ. So I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm not getting some responses in the chat box. Can I have, was the PPT clear, guys? Was it good? Okay, I'm getting certain questions. So I'll take up your questions one by one from the chat box also. First, I'll be taking up your questions one by one. So if the first person who's raised your hand, Manan Trivedi. Manan, please unmute yourself and let me take your question. Manan, I can't hear you. Could you please unmute yourself? Okay, I guess the candidate will be doing afterwards. Okay, Akhilesh, you have raised your hand from since a long time. Go ahead. Akhilesh, you can't unmute? Okay, you've put your question. What should people with do? Okay, I'll take your question in the chat box in the end. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yes, Dr. Manjot, you want to speak? Please go ahead.
Yes, my question is actually, what is actually fees for the whole preparatory course?
Okay, so Dr. Manjot, you'll, as I mentioned, you'll get a one-on-one online counseling with us. Okay, it depends upon the scholarship test also, which you would attend. So our counselor will connect with you. Okay, we have your credentials and everything. After this webinar, they'll connect with you and they'll guide you for 1 hour online session. Okay, free of cost.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Dr. Manjot. Yes, Akhilesh, could you please unmute yourself and ask your query? Akhilesh?
Hello.
Hello, Akhilesh.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, yes, ma'am. My question: will people with diploma also get job or not?
Yes, why not? So you have done only diploma, or you have done your physiotherapy degree also? Like you have done your. When have you finished up with your BPT?
No, ma'am. Diploma. Diploma complete. UP. From UP
Sorry, I couldn't
diploma.
hear you, Akhilesh.
Ma'am, what should people with diploma do?
When did you finish up with your degree?
No, diploma.
Okay, so
Degree not.
Akhilesh, if you have finished up with your BPT, only then you can go for APC. Diploma people, I guess, cannot.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, Akhilesh, let's move on. I hope you got your answer. Next is Bhumika. Bhumika, please ask your query.
Ma'am, if we have cleared the APC exam, when we will get PR?
Once you clear up with the APC exam, Bhumika, what you can do is you have to go for the practical assessment. Okay. So there is first thing is limited registration. Okay. So if you clear up with the APC exam, written exam, and you haven't attempted the practical exam, you can go ahead with the clinical assessment. Okay.
Practical exam is from India only?
No, the practical exam is from Australia, from Melbourne. So what you can do is you can, if you want a limited registration. So if you finished up with your written exam now, you can take a limited registration to the Physiotherapy Council, APC Council, and you can migrate to Australia. okay, and work as a under the supervisor, and then you can prepare for the practical examination. But PR is only when you finish up with your entire APC exam. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome, Bhumika. Okay, Gauri, you can unmute yourself.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Gauri.
My question is, after giving the APC exam, if I've cleared it, what is the duration of the licensing? Does it stay lifelong, or do I have to again renew it or give the exam again?
No, it's the, suppose when you get registered, no, as a physiotherapist over there, right? You don't have to give the examination every now and then, like the Gulf countries. No, it's not like that. You're registered. Okay.
So it's a lifelong registration.
Yes. You get registered. Once you are registered, you are registered. You can practice over there. Okay. Sometimes what happens is APC conducts survey and brings
And
on checks and something like that. So then during that, but if you start practicing there, you already are well aware of the guidelines and standards. So that won't be an issue, even if they, talk about the renewal or something like that. Okay.
and ma'am, I also wanted to know that what is the duration between the written exam and the practical exam? Is there a gap that we get, or can we do it in one go? Like,
You can do it in one go. You can do it, but usually what our faculty suggests is you can take a gap of 3 to 4 months to prepare nicely for the practical assessment, and then you can go for it. Okay.
And ma'am, once we
and
clear the
also,
written
ma'am, one
One
last
second, Dr.
question.
Manjot. One second, Dr. Manjot. Let me finish up with Gauri, then I'll come to you. Yes, Gauri, please.
So one last question is, what is the duration of the practical exam? Like you said that theory exam is like for 4 hours.
Mhm.
So like that, how long is the practical exam?
So practical exam is basically conducted in Melbourne. Okay. You have to go there, and they basically check with the patients. So they basically have dummy patients for you. Okay. And then they bring up so they are basically like, if you talk about the concept is totally different for the practical clinical assessment. Okay. They'll talk about the musculoskeletal physiotherapy. They'll talk about the, neurological physiotherapy and cardiorespiratory. So these are the three subject topics, which is there for the physical, like for the written exam also. Okay. So during your clinical assessment, basically the exercise will be examining you according to the Australia's entry level competencies. All right. So it's very simple. It's not something which is a bit difficult. But like if I talk about the written exam, the written exam is conducted, how I told you, with a gap of 2 hours karke. Correct? If you talk about the clinical exam, clinical assessment, allocation, location is given to you. Okay. And then you have to go. So if you talk about the format, the clinical assessment usually takes around 75 minutes. Okay, Gauri. 75 minutes may it's comprised of 10 minutes of reading time for you all to inspect the background or information about the patient which has been assigned to you. Okay. 5 minutes will be the verbal summary time for the candidate. Okay. So you will to provide a proper verbal summary to the assessors. Okay. You have to provide that, okay, this is the patient. I have read about this patient since 10 minutes. Okay. And now I'll give you the entire summary. So you have 5 minutes, you give the summary of the patient. After that, 50 minutes of the patient time, you need to assess the patient. You get 50 minutes for that. And then 10 minutes for the oral clarification that, okay, this was the diagnosis which we've made. And it's basically a 75 minutes assessment in which you have 10 minutes of reading time, 5 minutes of verbal summary, 50 minutes of your patient assessment time, and 10 minutes of your final diagnosis or clarification. Okay. Am I clear?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yes, Dr. Manjot.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि वंस वी क्लियर द रिटन एग्जामिनेशन, तो उसके बाद हम अगर इंटरिम के लिए अप्लाई करते हैं, तो फिर किस बेस के ऊपर हमें वीजा मिलेगा? लाइक वी कैन गो देयर एंड प्रैक्टिस एज असिस्टेंट फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट देयर. कोई देयर इज एनी वीजा कैटेगरी फॉर दिस?
ओके, सो इफ यू गो फॉर लिमिटेड रजिस्ट्रेशन ना, तो यूजुअली ऐसे नहीं जाता है कोई कि जाके सिर्फ लिमिटेड रजिस्ट्रेशन लेके ही रहेंगे. वो प्रैक्टिकल एग्जाम लेके प्रोफेशनल वीजा पे जाके फिर यू कैन प्रैक्टिस एज अ रजिस्टर्ड फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट. So you get it. Actually, you know what happens, Dr. Manjot? After getting limited registration, you look for the jobs. If you get a job after getting limited registration, तो फिर तो आप अपने प्रॉपर नॉर्मल जो आपका प्रोफेशनल एक्सपीरियंस है उसके प्रोफेशनल वीजा है जो उसके थ्रू आप जा सकते हो. You do
For
not.
that, we have to look for the like
Yes, yes. After
sponsor.
getting limited registration, you take the job from your home country only, and then you can migrate and practice. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Next is Vishwa. Vishwa, please ask your query. Right.
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I wanted to ask that is there any exam for New Zealand also like
No, for
APC?
New Zealand, you need to only undergo the registration process. So there are different ways of registration. The first thing is your general registration. Suppose if you are a physiotherapist here in India and you want to get registered to New Zealand Physiotherapy Council, you need to submit your documents, and that is the general registration. Second is the express pathway registration, which you get through HCPC. Right? And the third one is the Australian registration. Suppose you're a practicing physiotherapist in Australia, through Trans-Tasman Mutual Recognition Pathway, you can get registered in New Zealand. So these are the three ways of New Zealand registration. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, what about the HCPC? Like, and fresher can apply for it? Like, or we need to get any mm, experience certificate or
See,
something?
nothing of that sort is mentioned in the HCPC website. But you know what we suggest being, see, we are an organization who have been catering to a lot of physiotherapists for HCPC also. So the people who have a bit of experience, even 1 year also, they are, they very easily get registered to the HCPC, because HCPC somewhere or the other way has this, trust that, okay, this particular person has been practicing physiotherapy in his or her own country. So the registration process gets a bit accelerated if you have the experience. So I would suggest go for the experience at least for 1 year and then get registered with HCPC. Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Yes, Shivani, please unmute yourself.
Hi, ma'am. So I might be repeating the question, but I just wanted to ask, so I get done with the eligibility assessment. I give the cultural safety training, and I get an interim certificate. Now, based on that interim certificate, can I get a PR? Sorry, not a PR. I mean a work visa in Australia.
No, no. Interim
So I have
certificate is
to.
just a documentation making you eligible to sit for the APC written assessment. That has nothing to do with
Okay.
your profession. Okay.
Okay. So, basically, if today I sit and register for that the interim certificate, and I decide to give the exam in June, assuming. So after the June exam, I can look for jobs in Australia and get a work visa on the limited
If
registration.
you clear the June exam, you get a limited registration. After clearing that, you have to apply for limited registration to APTA. All right.
Okay.
So AFRA, Australian Body of Healthcare Regulation. Okay. So if you get a limited registration as a physiotherapist from the AFRA board, only then can you look for the job and go on to that visa. Okay.
Okay. So what is the cost of the limited registration for AFRA?
You can get a one-on-one counseling session, Shivani, for this, because not only for AFRA, you need to know for APC and everything. So it's gonna not only go for AFRA, it's gonna go for the entire thing. So after this webinar, my counselors, my senior counselors are going to call you. Okay, our counselors will call you, and they'll be guiding you for a one-on-one session. Okay.
Sure.
You ask
Sure.
everything. All right. Thank you, Shivani.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Mr. Manjot.
मैम इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज रिक्वायरमेंट्स जो हैं
हाँ हाँ
तो उसके लिए लाइक ये है कि लाइक हमें ये जो रिक्वायरमेंट को फुलफिल इनिशियली करना पड़ेगा कि आफ्टर द रिटन एग्जाम भी हम फुलफिल कर सकते
कर
हैं
सकते हो आफ्टर रिटन एग्जाम.
ओके ओके थैंक यू
Welcome. Okay, anyone else? Shall I take up the questions of the chat box? हाँ अखिलेश बताइए.
हेलो मैम.
हेलो.
मैम मतलब यूपी से मैंने डिप्लोमा कंप्लीट किया है.
अच्छा.
तो अदर कंट्री में जाके जॉब कर सकता हूँ.
अखिलेश, हम जिसके लिए आपसे बात कर रहे थे ना एपीसी के लिए, फॉर दिस आपको बैचलर ऑफ फिजियोथेरेपी डिग्री की जरूरत होगी फॉर ऑस्ट्रेलिया, न्यूजीलैंड और दीज कंट्रीज. ओके, बट एक काम करेंगे, हमारे काउंसलर्स आपसे कनेक्ट करेंगे. ओके, आफ्टर दिस वेबिनार, इफ देयर इज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर यू, देन डेफिनेटली विल गाइड यू. ठीक है.
जी मैम. बैचलर मैम करना थोड़ा मतलब थोड़ा फाइनेंशियली इशू है, मतलब आर्थिक स्थिति थोड़ा खराब है इस वजह से मैम मतलब अभी डीपीटी फाइनल किया है, अभी 2024 में ही फाइनल हुआ है, तो जॉब करना चाहते हैं। तो मतलब
हाँ हाँ हाँ, आई
यहाँ पे
अंडरस्टैंड।
इंडिया में थोड़ा स्कोप बहुत मतलब कम है अभी थोड़ा,
कोई बात
बट
नहीं।
आगे चल के फ्यूचर
आर
में थोड़ा अच्छा
काउंसलर्स,
होगा।
हमारे काउंसलर्स ना आपसे अकेले में बात करेंगे एंड दे विल डेफिनेटली गाइड यू कि आप किस तरीके से जॉब कर सकते हो, ठीक है?
ओके मैम, थैंक
ठीक,
यू मैम,
थैंक यू
थैंक यू सो
अखिलेश।
मच।
Okay, so I'll take up the questions of the chat box now one by one, and I hope I'll be able to clarify your queries. So let's get started. Um, Dhara, I have few questions regarding this. First, after clearing theory exam from India, which visa option candidate have to go to Australia? I have shown the visa options to you, Dhara. I hope that was clear. So visas are, again, as I mentioned, you're eligible for permanent visa if you finish up with the exam. If you get registered over there, 189, 190, 482 sponsored, 494 sponsored, and 491. Okay. So it was already mentioned, but still, if you have a one-on-one counseling thing to be clarified on this, you will get it after the webinar. Then after reaching Australia, how much time will we get to go for practical exam? You can attempt it whenever you want. After clearing theory exam from India, should I get job in Australia from India, or I have to first get the job and then go? Okay. If someone who do not have any relative in Australia as girl, how she can went there and do all the process? No, you do it from India. And when you get an employer over there, then you go to Australia. Okay. There's no need to, migrate without having any catch. All right, Aisha, thank you for the thumbs up. Khilesh, I hope your doubt is clarified. Sunana, practical exam also happens in home country? No, Melbourne. How much IELTS band is required or PT? Dhara, as I mentioned, if you talk about IELTS individual band of 7, PT score of 65 or higher, OET ke liye minimum score of 350 out of 500 or grade B is required. Okay. Rishu, I have done MPT, musculoskeletal. Can I also apply? Yes, Rishu, very well. You can apply, definitely. Akhilesh, done. Rishu, I have done MPT. Yes, Rishu, MPT people can do. What is total fee for Australia? Please tell, including written exam and practical exam. Clinical exam also happens in home country? No. Clinical exam is taken up in Melbourne. Total fee, as I mentioned, in Australia, if you talk about the entire fee structure of the council, for the interim certificate, it's AUD 1364. Written assessment, 1958 Australian dollars. And clinical assessment is 4,263 Australian dollars. So around about 4,000 plus 2,000, 6,000 plus 1,500. So it's round about 7,500 AUD is the cost of the government fees for the entire APC exam. Okay. Niharika, can we apply for limited registration after skill assessment? No. What are the chances of selection? Niharika, chances of selection depends upon your preparation totally. There are many students who have who have enrolled within 2 months and cleared their APC. There are many students who have been trying and they are not able to do it. So, it totally depends upon the dedication you put in for your exam. Pay scale of assistant physiotherapist, please. Assistant physiotherapist over there, definitely you won't get that much of pay scale as a practicing physiotherapist, but it's not less as well. If you clear theory and fail practical, what to do? You get a limited registration, Sunana, and you can again attempt the practical exam. Okay. Once you're clear with the theory exam, it's not that your practical exam will be hampered. You again need to clear the theory. No, you get innumerable attempts. Should we start from beginning? No. Can I do APC exam from India? Yes, Alpha Sajan, you definitely can. How many clinical assessment test attempts after clearing it written? It's very simple, Ahmed. If you're a practicing physiotherapist now, clinical assessment is not something which is a great deal. All right, Dhara. Amulya, is PT exam a requirement for written exam? No, you can. It's it's basic English requirement for visa purpose. Okay, Akhilesh. Heta, what will be the fee structure as well, as if we are not able to clear it in one go? Will the same will be considered? Yes. If you're not able to clear the written exam, it's basically the exam booking cost, Heta. So yes, you will have to. Okay. Limited registration validity period. Is there any age limitation? No. Do academically helps in clinical preparation? We are starting with the course, Ahmed, but as of now, written exam. APC procedure will not take a lot of time, Alpha Sajan. Like if you apply for the APC skill assessment, if your documents are good, you get it very quickly. And after 16 weeks of preparation, you can also clear the APC written assessment. Total number of MCQ, Kishan, total number of MCQ is 120. ठीक है, 15 केस बेस्ड सिनेरियो होते हैं और एक केस बेस्ड सिनेरियो में 4 क्वेश्चन. So 15, 15, 30 case-based scenario, 30 into 4, 120. Do we need 2-year working period in UK before going? No. No, Ahmed. Will your team help with initial assignment and document submission? Yes, Dr. Manjot. We help with English, we help with initial assessment, and we help with your written assessment preparation. Okay, Bhumika's question I think I have answered. If I clear written and clinical, can I take my mom and brother with me? Yes, if you get a job, Sunaina, definitely. Actually, मैंने registration कराया है academically में. Very good, Hira. Then you'll get the assistance. Okay, so I hope I've answered all the questions, guys. Can I get a quick thumbs ups from all of you? Is there anybody left? Hita, Shivani, Vedant, Manjot, Gauri. Clear था सब कुछ? Yes, Sunaina, please ask a question. Response नहीं मिला आपको, हीरा? अभी तक response नहीं मिला? नहीं, आपको after this webinar, you will get a response. I will ensure this. ठीक है, हीरा? After this webinar, you will get a call from my team. आपने registration कहाँ कराया था? Could you please help me? Okay, Sunaina, no problem. Hita, can you please unmute yourself? Hita, आप बताओगे मुझे like what was the problem? कहाँ registration कराया था? कब कराया था? I can help you out.
हेलो मैम।
Hello, hi Hita. Yes.
हाय मैम, मैंने रजिस्ट्रेशन कराया था, वॉलंटियर थी निशांत करके, मुझे
Okay.
पूरा नाम याद नहीं है।
हाँ।
तो उन्होंने कहा था कि वो मुझे कांटेक्ट करेंगे, बट वो कांटेक्ट नहीं कर पाए। अब पता नहीं कि कुछ इशू होगा,
कोई बात नहीं, I
काफी
will
टाइम हो
connect
गया
with
मुझे। हाँ,
the team today and Nishant will contact you. Okay, Hira?
यस यस। हाँ, उनका कॉल भी नहीं लग रहा था, तो मेरी बात नहीं हो पा रही उनसे।
कोई नहीं, मैं उनको बोलूंगी, वो आपसे कनेक्ट कर लेंगे, ठीक है?
ओके मैम।
Thank you. Yes, Shivani, please go ahead.
Ma'am, do I need to do something for someone to get into contact with me, or is
You have
this
filled the
webinar
form for
free?
registration in this webinar, na Shivani?
Sorry?
You have filled a form, no, before this
Yes.
webinar. Yeah, so now they'll contact you. Like the team will contact you. You don't
All
have to.
right. All
Okay.
right. Thank you.
Welcome. Yes, Gauri, you can unmute yourself.
Ma'am, I have been registering for Academically for quite some time, but I have never received any call from the counselor. None of them. So I was just,
So where
I
have you
wanted to
registered
ask. I've
with?
been doing it for the past 4 months now. Ma'am, from the website itself, like there was a form on the website, so I've been
Yeah.
filling that form, and then I get a mail saying that a call will be given to you, but I've never received any call yet.
Okay, there would be. I would just
Yeah, so
tell
I
them to
was
connect with
little.
you. And have from when have you been trying this, Gauri?
From you mean the location or
No, the form part.
hello?
Yes, I'm talking about the form
The
part.
form part
Yeah.
from the website itself.
Okay, all right. So you'll get a call.
Yeah, so
You'll
I've
get a
been
call
filling
today
that
itself.
form up online.
Okay, you'll get a call today itself. Okay.
Okay,
I'll
thank you,
ensure.
ma'am.
You're welcome, Gauri. Okay. All right, guys. So I think we're good to wind up. Any more questions? No? Okay, so as you all know, you can visit our website, and if you want any queries, you can put up there over there also. You know about our online platforms, you know about our contact numbers, and our senior counselors will connect with you today, as I mentioned. And you can, yes, Faisal, please go ahead. No, Sunana, you can practice anywhere. It's not about Melbourne. Yes, Faisal, you have raised your hand. Please unmute yourself. You're welcome, Sunana. Yes, yes.
There is any age restriction limitation for applications?
Sorry, your voice is not clear. Could you please go again? Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, you're audible. Please go
Is
ahead.
there any age? Is there any age limitation?
No.
So, then any age patient therapist can apply for the APC.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. So it was indeed a great webinar, guys, with all of you. Thank you so much for joining this webinar, and Academically would be happy to help you in the coming times also, we'll be arranging these sort of webinars for you all as well. And everybody will get a call from the senior counselors today, and you can please discuss your cases and we'll be happy to help you. Thank you so much for the great time, guys. And bye-bye. See ya. Take care, everyone. We are ending this webinar. Thank you. This is me, Dr. Sonal, signing. Akhilesh, we'll be connecting with you. Thank you.